Optimism has been building around Ohio State's cornerback room this spring. We finally got to talk to those guys here Thursday at the Whitty Hayes Athletic Center. I'm Nathan Baird from cleveland.com along with Doug Lesmerises and Stephen Means. We got several of those guys in here today, and some of them are new and some of them are back, and that kind of combination of all those guys together is helping build something interesting in this room. I want to start with you, Doug. You got to talk to Jair Brown, who I think fits in an interesting spot in this room because he was flashing a lot last year. They put him on the field last year. He definitely held up when they put him on the field. And is he a guy that can push into that top three, or is he maybe one of the signs that this room is really healthy in a lot of ways because a guy who seems to be that ready for a bigger role maybe just can't quite get on the field yet?
Yeah, I think Jair Brown's like a great fourth corner because I do think he handled himself last year as a true freshman when he played more than anybody expected. And listen, you try to get to know these guys in 7 minutes. He seemed like he sat down for his interview and he just came across as like a handle your business type of guy. He's like, I love handle your business type of guys. That he's not cocky, but he has absolute confidence in himself. And also they're working him in at nickel safety a little bit. We saw that when we saw the scrimmage last week. And he's like, yeah, I think I can do that. I did that in high school. That's a good set of skills for me, you know, a little more agility. And Steven, you always say like two-way routes and you got to be able to deal with that kind of thing. So I think he can do that. Smart, able to handle that other thing. But also, if this is your fourth corner, people can go back and listen to our Buckeye Talk, ranking the depth in certain rooms. What's your fourth corner? He's a second-year guy who learned a lot from last year when he was thrown in, and he seems like he's ready to go. But also, I mean, he's not a top 10 national recruit. He's not demanding to be on the field right now. But I think if you had to play him, you'd feel pretty good about it. So that's what the fourth corner, who's, you know, two things happening away from starting, should be at Ohio State. So it's a weird thing to be excited about, but it's like, that's what that looks like. Because I like the path he's on, but he doesn't have to be all the way at the end of that yet.
The floor is rising in that room, we feel. The things we've seen this spring, the way people are talking about that. I talked to Denzel Burke a little bit today. Jordan Hancock was also out here, and those are both guys who, to different levels, had to really fight through a lot of physical things last year. For Denzel Burke, I think there's a lot of prove it. I was thinking about this today, that like we're growing in optimism at like all places around the secondary, but like at every single spot, there's somebody with a lot to prove. I think that's something we'll probably talk about more on Buckeye Talk a little later this afternoon. So get that wherever you can find podcasts. But like every guy has maybe his best football ahead of him and a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. And for both those guys, it was physical things that were holding back. We didn't ever get to see the best out of Jordan Hancock. But he's been running with the ones this spring. I think that is a good sign because that's kind of where he left off last year and just didn't get to show it last fall. So another reason why there's some growing optimism if they can keep that room healthy.